As Israel's war with Hamas enters a second phase that includes a ground incursion into Gaza, tensions around the world are increasing. Some protests have turned violent and threats against both Jewish and Muslim people are on the rise. Is that true here in Oklahoma as well? Joe Filomeno joins us now to answer that question. Joel.
Rich, at this point, Oklahoma has not seen the type of threatening anti-Semitic protests taking place in cities and college campuses across the country. But there's no question that both the Jewish and Muslim communities in our state are experiencing a dramatic increase in hate crimes and threats since October 7th.
Good morning, Jewish Federation.
Rachel Johnson, Executive Director of the Jewish Federation of Greater Oklahoma City, says anti-Semitism has risen exponentially in the last month.
Anytime there's conflict in Israel, anti-Semitism always rises, and we've seen an increase of about 388% year over year.
The Anti-Defamation League reports a nearly 400% increase in preliminary anti-Semitic incidents in the United States compared to the same period last year.
There's been a report of, I think, 312 anti-Semitic incidents that have occurred since October 7th. That is ranging for the entire U.S. It's not just for our region.
She notes the pain that many within the community are feeling at the current situation. 1,400 civilians in Israel were killed during the Hamas terror attacks on October 7th.
Lots of hurt and just a lot of unsettled emotions of feeling helpless because we're not there.
According to the Anti-Defamation League, there was a near 1,000% increase in violent messages about Jews and Israel in white supremacist and right-wing extremist social media sites since the war began.
Over the past several years, we've seen this shift from just people being anti-Israel or being anti-Semitic to some that are anti-Israel are also anti-Semitic because they're against Israel.
Johnson adds that hate and discrimination against any ethnic group or religion is unacceptable.
We strongly speak out and stand up against hate and bigotry towards any group and any person.
Free, free Palestine!
A rally for peace took place on a cold, rainy day at Oklahoma City's Scissortail Park on October 28th.
No more violence, no more killing, no more bloodshed.
Adam Solanti, with the chair on American Islamic Relations Oklahoma, coordinated the event.
We outright condemn Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, any acts of hate or violence targeting any people. This is not a religious war, and we'll do everything we can to protect Muslims, Jews, and their places of worship.
He says many in the Islamic community are also experiencing the type of threats currently aimed at the Jewish community.
We are once again, like we have been many times over the last 2 decades, on high alert, increasing security and doing everything we can to protect our community and our family members.
The FBI reported 158 cases of anti-Muslim incidents and 92 reported anti-Arab incidents in 2022.
In Oklahoma, thankfully, we haven't seen any of those yet, but we have seen an increase in hate rhetoric targeting Islamic institutions and the Muslim community.
We can expect to get worse if the conflict expands.
FBI Director Christopher Wray warned of an alarming rise in religious-based attacks in the country during a U.S. Senate Homeland Security hearing on Tuesday.
In each and every one of the FBI's 56 field offices, we are addressing these threats with a sense of urgency. That means working closely with our federal, state, and local partners through our FBI-led Joint Terrorism Task Forces to ensure that together we stay laser-focused on mitigating threats.
The FBI Oklahoma City office released a statement on the rising threats. We take all potential threats seriously and are working closely with our law enforcement partners to determine their credibility, share information, and take appropriate investigative action. We are doing everything we can to protect all houses of worship and people of all faiths here in the United States. We ask members of the public to immediately report anything they consider suspicious to law enforcement or contact our local FBI office. Tips can also be submitted to tips.fbi.gov.
We really do appreciate the relationship that we have with our local and federal law enforcement agencies.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected calls for a ceasefire, saying Hamas must be destroyed. This week, deadly airstrikes targeted Gaza's largest refugee camp, killing hundreds of civilians.
After the horrific attacks of October 7th, calls for a ceasefire are calls for Israel to surrender to Hamas, to surrender to terrorism.
Adam Soltani says that is unacceptable and that humanitarian aid must be the priority for the people trapped in Gaza.
We need our country, our president, our congressional representatives, our senators to stand up and demand that we fight on the right of human beings who are suffering and that we open up for humanitarian aid and relief agencies to get in right now.
Rachel Johnson says the search for a resolution will not be easy.
I wish I had a good answer. The thing that I have been holding on to, and I keep telling everyone to hold on to, is hope.
Soltani hopes to see a ceasefire and a peaceful resolve to a war that has already claimed more than 9,925 lives on both sides of the conflict.
Let's stop the bloodshed, let's stop the conflict, and then let's get the intelligent people who want to see peace in this world together.
According to the FBI, hate crimes rose 7% between 2021 and 2022, and almost 40% of them were anti-Semitic. Rich.
Thank you very much, Joel.